Welcome everyone to the Proven Knowledge Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Church. I'm a music producer from Northeast Ohio. I began this weekly interview series to give you different perspectives from artists, producers, engineers, and other individuals in the music industry. In each episode, we touch on not only what has helped the person succeed, but we also touch on what has shaped them into the person that they are today. I hope you're able to gain some real proven knowledge from the show, and that it helps elevate you on your own journey to success as well. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 219 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Today I welcomed a New York rap duo. They're named the Kingz. One of their good friends, Dom, actually reached out to me to book this interview, so I want to thank Dom first and foremost for making this happen this week. We had a pretty cool, inspired discussion with the Kingz this week. We talked about their new project that's called It's Funny How Life Is. They gave me kind of the in-depth story behind that. They talked about a lot of their influences as well, what they're going to be working on next. Their next album should be coming out at the top of 2025, and they also revealed the concept behind that one as well. I can just tell these guys have a real love for, the game, for writing, for rapping, all that good stuff, and they were just very passionate about their music and really the message behind it, which I think is super cool. And they're going to be two people that I'm going to be looking at, very closely moving forward and paying attention to the different releases they have. And just from hearing It's Funny How Life Is, just the diversity in the production and the rapping as well, something that catches my attention. And I think you guys are going to want to check them out after this episode as well. So again, I want to thank them for joining me this week and thank Dom as well for making this connection. Without further ado, let's get into it. So welcome everyone to episode 219 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Today we have two MCs out of the Bronx area in New York. Very happy to have these guys here. Shout out to Dom for connecting us. Kingz, how you guys doing?
Here G. It's the Kingz in the building. What up?
I love it.
What up? Shout out to Brooklyn, you heard? We outside.
Love it, guys.
Out of Brooklyn, man. It's all love, though. Of course.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad to have you guys here.
Started in the Bronx, so I got nothing but love for that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Glad to have you guys here, man. And to start off every episode, I have the guests give some background. How did you guys get into music? Like, how long have you been at it? Just some basic info for those that might not know you and what you do.
Yeah, I guess like a real quick synopsis. My older cousin got us into rapping. We had our older cousins, which was in the Bronx. We always spent the summer up there. Every summer, pretty much, we was up in New York. So, one day we was walking down to Soundview Park to go play basketball, hooping, and he stopped and started freestyling. So me and my twin brother was just super admired by that, and asked him, "Hey man, how'd you do that? Like, I want to learn how to do it." And he sat us down. We jotted our first rhymes on a paper napkin, and here we are.
So yeah, it was wild. It's been quite some time, man. I think it was like what started in 2004.
2000.
Oh yeah, it was 2000.
You're right.
Definitely 2000. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
We've been at this for quite some time.
Yeah. So
grind don't stop. The love don't stop. Hip hop don't stop. You know what I'm saying? There's always different changes, different niches, and it's slowly circling right back to exactly where we always been, lyricists. So now that shout out to Kendrick. Like us.
Yeah.
If you're not a lyricist, you're not like us.
For sure, man.
Facts.
Absolutely. So we're looking at, man, almost 25 years at this point in total. You guys have been at it, so that's awesome. And it's great to see that you've been on the grind that long. And that brings up a good question, which is, you've probably been around now then for a lot of the shifts within the industry as far as technology goes, the streaming era, things like that. So how do you think you guys have been able to maneuver like the different changes you've seen in the industry over the years? Has it not really been a huge issue for you, or you've just been able to keep doing your thing and like adapt as you go?
It's been an adaptive process. I can't say that I'm not one that misses the hand-to-hand transactions, that you can have those interactions with the people in your fan group directly. There's nothing like having a street team that's out there, like, meeting the people and introducing who you are and explaining what you do. You know what I'm saying? And having people like really digest their music and like, you know, you get a hand in hand. Like I'm giving you a good product for, you know, your hard earned money. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with it being so digital based, it's very hard to, you know, capture that same type of, you know, interactions initially. You know, because at first you gotta have enough skill to be able to capture somebody's attention immediately to make them want to even go in their pocket in the first place. Because, you know, when we first doing the mixtapes, you know, it was a lot of nah, I'm good, okay, blah 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 blah. You know, when you're walking by trying to hand out your mixtape, you know, it's a little bit different than now, where it's like you got to make yourself searchable. You got to make yourself, you know, much more prevalent. You got to have that word of mouth that says like, yo, hey, shoot this person a text message. You know, getting people to go the extra mile to not only get your stuff but also share it in that same aspect. Is, you know, it's been a battle for sure.
Yeah, and then just to pivot from that, or to pivot off of that, it's definitely an adaptive process, because, you know, we went from the era of listening on cassette tapes, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, when you couldn't just easily rewind the cassette tape without eating up the cassette tape, and then going from, you know, listening and writing your creative process, going from that to CDs, where, you know, where artists and rappers used to have they CDs in hand, and it wasn't just, oh, just skip this and you scratch the CD. Now you got to get another one. If you had a favorite song on there, you got to go buy a new CD again. You know, and then now the digital age, there is none of that. You can play it whenever on multiple different platforms every single time. So yeah, the adaptation is always going to be key. And we just, you know, we always stay consistent. At least me and Twin, with just
technology baked in.
Our process of writing has still been the same, even though
distribution might be different.
Yeah, we might have jumped off the paper and do it on our cell phones now, but at least the creative process is kind of the same, and we stay at least consistent with writing and adapting that way. So, yeah, we just roll with the punches. We just continuously just do our own thing, man. That's how I look at it. We just like to stay in our own bubble and branch from that.
Yeah, and I think that's the best way to do it as well. And I think it's the accessibility too, because it's like, as a consumer of music, we look at it as a very good thing that we have all the music like right there. We can listen to it whenever we want, all our favorite artists. But then when you're trying to actually do it as a career, like build your brand as an artist, it's a lot more difficult, because it's like, well, how do you sell something that's already there for them? And I noticed that a lot of artists too, especially in the last couple of years, are going back to that direct-to-consumer approach with like merchandise, vinyl, CDs, still doing those things. Have you guys tried any of that recently, or are you looking to do that more moving forward?
Yeah, so we have definitely tried it. Go ahead, so my bad.
Yeah, no, we definitely tried it. We're definitely still building our street team approach, because it's much more different than it used to be, because it's so digital. You know, and trying to build that and give incentives for, you know, the team to want to, you know, go the extra mile to be able to do that in the first place. You know, so it's very building that network is the hardest thing that you could do as an artist, period.
Yeah.
You know, building that network of people that actually would take 30 minutes of their day to say, like, I'm gonna do this for this person.
Yeah, and then
because life is in the way.
And then on top of that, to answer your question more directly, yeah, we definitely do that approach. We have our own website up. We sell all of our music direct to consumer off of our website. We're still enhancing those mechanisms, because even when they download our album off of the website, we get a lot of complaints about it not being in a sequential order. That's the way we like to do things anyway. So we've been working backdoor processes and try to figure out the quick fixes for that. As well as adding a couple extra things into the purchase price, whether that be a T-shirt and or cover art, as well as et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, we have a lot of stuff like that working on our website, especially the merchandise. We're constantly working on that, because we want to make sure the rollout is perfect, and, you know, it's always never going to be perfect. But, yeah, we definitely have taken that approach, especially as independent artists. You kind of have to in this market, man. This market isn't really made for the independent artists, man. It's made for the mainstream guys that sign they record deals, man. I mean, and I don't want to get too long-winded on this, but just recently, me and Twin was having a discussion, I believe, like 2 weeks ago, where we had a debate about when I found out how Apple Music does their, how Spotify does their streaming services. It's not made for the independent artists.
Apple
they literally Apple too. They literally do they grab. They have like a network, I guess, however, behind the scenes, whoever does the Spotify stuff has like a network where if you're not signed to a major record label, if they can't look you up immediately and justify your streams, they cut you off. And they did that to one of our album, She Made Heaven Fall. They did that to our project, which was streamed organically through Spotify.
Yeah, thanks.
They still took it off their platform. I'm over there arguing with them like, hey, man, like, I didn't do any backyard services. I used your service that you provide on your website. So I'm not confused on why you pulled it down for fake bots. That means you guys are doing fake bots. So it's been all right. But anyway, and then it's
just a climb. Man, it's just more of a climb for battle against technology because at the same time of having to fight with different streaming services, having our own website in the first place makes it a lot more interpersonal. But the problem, the main issue with that is people don't want to have to go on a website to listen to your song, or your music. You know what I'm saying? It's very difficult to get people to do that when they have an Apple, they have a Spotify, they have a Tidal, they have Amazon Music and stuff like that. So it's a little bit harder to get people to switch over to want to do that. But we can't complain about how the consumer consumes. We just have to make it much more feasible to want to do it. So that's why I said looking at it in a different aspects, such as turning the website into an app. Is definitely things that has crossed our minds in regards to trying to get with a tech company to do that. What that pricing and overhead would look like. Stuff like that. It's a lot of small things like that. You just got to try to find your niche in the market and try to just hold on tight, basically.
Yeah.
So they could change overnight.
Shout out to Dom. He really been helping out big time. So shout out to him.
Awesome. I'm glad you guys brought that up about the Spotify removing songs. I've seen that a lot, especially from independent artists, especially about the playlists, where it's the artists aren't even submitting to certain playlists. They're just getting put into botted playlists. And then Spotify is like, you can't do that. We're taking the song down. We're not even going to give you a warning. They don't even have a 3-strike rule. It's just gone. You know what I mean? And I think for them, it's you don't, I feel like I understand where they're coming from to an extent, but it's you need a system in place that's fair to the creators and to the artists. And no one is trying to do that. No one's trying to get their songs removed like that. So I feel like there's a lot of things that need to be put into place there. And obviously Spotify has a lot of things going on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't really care for to begin with. That's a whole nother discussion. But I'm glad you guys brought that up because I've definitely heard that from a lot of people. And then as far as go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, me and Twin have had many of discussions in regards to trying to we thought about revamping our website and making it much more independent friendly.
Yeah.
Because if, for example, we can turn this into an app, for example, because we, got the rights, we don't have to charge the artist to put their music on there to sell it. We can just take a portion of the sales. And then, instead of having 150 or 200 artists, kind of how Dat Piff was. Are you old enough to know about that?
Yeah, I am actually back in high school for sure.
So Dat Piff is a main example, right? Because Dat Piff, the independent artists were able to go up there and then they were able to put it up there. Then they had the rating system that made people willing to say, "Oh yeah, I want to download it." And then it was free to download, but they were getting paid for the streams.
Yeah.
So the artists, because they spent the hot week, because on the back end you can get paid for how many people come onto the website through advertisement or whatever the case may be, it was encouraged for people to come and say, "No, let's do this." And then that Piff was able to pay the artist directly. You know what I'm saying? Whatever their flat rate.
But yeah, Twin, they've been killing the market when it comes to that, man. That's why that Piff off at that. So we could go on with that. So, but anyway,
I know.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean by if we essentially we were talking about. Not that I'm gonna shut up after this, but if it's a situation where we get the opportunity to be able to say we got 200 of the hottest independent artists out here, and you're not relevant if you're not on the site, type of thing, and you're just saying a F you to the industry for having that type of control over artists' artwork in regards to who gets played and who doesn't get paid. I've always liked the rebellious nature of hip hop, and I'm definitely one to spearhead that because I can't tell you how many times that me and Twin have talked about removing all of our stuff off of all of the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a discussion, but yeah.
Yeah, and you guys definitely aren't alone in that, for sure. Believe me, because I've seen so many people just talking about that, and I think it's almost like a beauty in the struggle type deal where I think we're going to see a lot of that coming up, where people launch their own platforms, kind of do their own thing. I actually just saw one of my favorite producers yesterday. He just announced he's doing his own app, and he's going to have like his music. He's going to do a podcast through there. He's going to do all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I think a lot of people are going to start to do things like that just because of the way things are. It's like they kind of forced our hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. But I wish you guys all the success on that. I think that's going to be super cool. So I'll be looking out for that for sure. Next up, go ahead.
Our network is constantly, expanding and building, and people get so shocked at the mere fact that we have so many, records out in the first place, and they're like, "Damn, who are these guys?" You get intrigued in the first place. You're like, "Damn, and wait, they got all these records out, and the track titles. Oh, damn! I didn't know that the track titles tell a story or they're spreading the message. Oh, damn, the album titles do that too. Oh, these guys are really creative. I really like these guys. And they're not just talking about shoot 'em up, bang bang, kill, murder, death. Oh, I like this. This is mind provoking. Oh, they're using poetic elements when they write. Oh, that's tough. I like that. Like it's just like all of those type of layers. So
I swear,
my fault. You know me, dog.
Hey, I love it, man. He's passionate, He's passionate about it. I love that. That's awesome. And I'd be willing to say, since you guys have been at it for this long, that you guys have a lot of day one fans still that have been following you since the start. So it's like they're going to be with you at all those steps, too, of doing this new stuff and launching whatever you're going to be launching as well, along with all the new music. So I think it's going to be great to see how it evolves, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So next up, I want to dive into the album you dropped in the spring, which is called It's Funny How Life Is. Great album. I love the different styles on the album as well as far as production goes and what you guys did. You had skits in there. I love that as well. So give me kind of a backstory on this project. Like, how's it different from previous projects, and what does it mean to you guys individually too?
Yeah, I'll start off by saying this project was a lot of fun. Sonically, if most people really follow how me and Twin, our journey has been in this music, in this artistry work, Twin is really boom bap, old school kind of melodic element to him. I'm more of the rap kind of guy. So a lot of our albums kind of go back and forth between those two because obviously there's two of us. We both can do it. We both enjoy it. We both love the same thing. So for us, we kind of teeter-totter between the two. So the album before that, and Froze Summer, was more a my twin brother kind of led project, beat production, majority of the concepts was mostly his approach. It's Funny How Life Is project is more tailored towards my approach, my kind of sound sonically, and we just, the way me and Twin master blended, it's flawless. That project was really tailored from Twin's original topic. It's Funny How Life Is. My twin brother's one that came up with that album title, and we tailored it to kind of spill out a deeper message, for our catalog. As far as like topic-driven relationships to industry shit to our raw rap ability, to people being inherently selfish, showing the creative side of storytelling in there as well on the last track of Selfish, giving the people an emotional approach to our upbringing on Inherently. So a lot of those songs from that album, or a lot of that album itself, is really to dive deeper into who the Twin Kingz are. We got really more personal on this album than we've got on any other album we've gotten before. So I appreciate you liked it a lot more. So that's really good feedback.
Yeah, I appreciate you definitely liking the album. The whole topic was it's funny how life is. It was kind of like it was a comedic way of diving into each and every emotion that we have as humans. We have the rage, we have the combativeness, we have the times where we're sad, the times where we're feeling resentment, when you're feeling love, when you're feeling like weird and you're feeling like, scared, fearful, like, not sure. All of those different feelings, we put the entire emotional palette of what it is to be human on that project. So, like, at some point you're gonna listen to that project and either you're gonna either laugh. Some people have cried. Some people have,
I got hype, went to the gym.
Got hype, went to the gym. Some people, reached back out and had places where they felt like, reminiscing. There's a lot of different things that you get out of that. There's a lot of relatability with that project. It's the best way to explain it.
We wanted to connect more with our audience, with our cast, or our fans. We wanted to, show that we're human too. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing the everyday thing just like y'all are. So we just have a very poetic and creative way of doing it. That's all.
Hey there, hope you're enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick minute out to let you know about a couple different ways that you can support the podcast. One of the ways is by clicking that support the podcast button within your streaming platform. That is if you want to be a monthly supporter of the show. You can contribute either 99 cents, $5, or $10 a month. So that's the first way, and that's the more traditional way that we've had now for the last couple years. The other method that we actually just recently introduced is from our good friends over at Ko-fi. Ko-fi is a virtual tip jar. We have set our limit to a minimum of $10, but you can go make one-time, one-off donations. So if you visit ko-fi.com/the Proven Knowledge Podcast, you'll be able to donate. And all these different forms of donation go towards getting new guests every single week, getting potential sponsors on board to do giveaways, and overall just making the show better for you guys. So if you want to do that Ko-fi link, it's ko-fi.com/the Proven Knowledge Podcast. Otherwise, again, look for that support the podcast button in your streaming platform if you'd like to be a monthly supporter. And I just want to say thank you guys for your contributions. And without further ado, let's get back into the episode. To me, those are the best projects too. They can kind of hit on all those emotions within one body of work. You know what I mean? And I think that's how you know you got something special too. At the end of the day, when you're through with it, and you can look back on, you're like, wow, we really covered all the bases with this one. So it sounds like that's what it was for you guys, which is super awesome.
It was an arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an arc. If you pay attention, the entire thing was an arc. When it first started out, it was like, let me get your attention to let you, like how you're having a conversation. Like, let me talk to you real quick, directly. This is what we're talking about. And then it was an emotional arc where you go, okay, like for example, if you notice, there's like 4 different arcs actually. If you go to the track, where we're talking about how you what you call that damn song? That's so many damn songs. But the Spanish one was a very sexual record.
Yeah.
Then right after that, you go like, all right, I met this girl. She was super infatuated. We ended up fucking. Everything was great. Woo woo. And then you got the interpersonal relationships where you're like, damn, shorty, what the fuck did you bring to my table? Those type of arguments that come in. And then the breakup right after that. Like it's like you met a girl, you had an argument, and you broke up with her. You know what I'm saying? Those, like back to back, right? So you deal with that. Then right after that, it's like, how do you feel after a breakup? Most people, the smart people, they go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? So you hear that song. It's like, I did it be great. My heart is broke, but I'm still getting paid. Like it builds up off of each other every time. Then it's like then we go into another arc where it's like, what does it feel like to have this little bit of fame? You know what I'm saying? And this people recognize us, people reach out, people, have this type of adornment for us, and how does it make us feel? You know what I'm saying? It's like those type of things where the listener gets that perspective back, and it's one of the basic give it to them involved.
And then you realize at the end of it all that everybody just somehow inherently selfish.
Right? Every time.
So it's a really really dope well put together project. We really took our time with it. We really wanted people to enjoy it. I think I say what it is. I think it's album of the year. That's just my opinion. Hey,
it's definitely album of the year.
Just
No question.
I know M came out the woodworks, but I still think it's album of the year.
Yeah.
I love M.
Facts. We love M.
But
Love Eminem.
yeah.
It's the it embodies the ups and downs of life, really.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah,
that
it's funny. You laugh through it. You. The reason why we said it's funny how life is because typically men we like to kind of joke through some of the pain. Like because if you're in the military, sometimes you got to endure the harsh realities of just it sucks out here. But hey, let's make it fun at least. So
Yeah, facts.
that's kind of how the approach to the album was.
Yeah.
Life sucks, but hey, let's have a good time while we're here.
Yeah. I love that. It's awesome, man. We can touch on some influences real quick before we kind of get into the latter half of the questions here, because you just mentioned Eminem, obviously big influence. I assume you guys love a lot of New York hip hop as well.
Yeah.
So like, who are some people? I know the list could probably go on, but like for you guys,
I'm gonna try to name on top of my head.
who you got?
Big L.
Oh yeah.
Big L.
Yeah, Big L, Wu-Tang, obviously, Nas, Jay, Busta, Biggie, Pac, obviously, M, Big Daddy Kane, Talib Kweli,
KRS, Red and Meth.
Did I say Big L?
Yeah.
I said
You
Big L.
said Big L. You said Big L once.
Smooth the Hustler, Trigger the Gambler.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, the list can go on, man. I mean,
Big Pun.
Common.
Big Pun. Capital Punishment was probably one of the best albums ever put together.
Facts.
No question. Capital Punishment was like that.
Facts. Ludacris. We like T.I. We had a whole step out for a hot minute.
Yeah, facts.
Jeezy. That TM 103 is my favorite. I mean, the list can go on, man.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
I mean, I'm
LL Cool J for
LL Cool J.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, we're very studious to the game, man. I mean, we honor all of the ones that came before us, and we show love to the ones that's coming after us at the end of the day. I mean, just so many influences. I mean, obviously Jay,
Outkast.
Outkast. Oh my God, Outkast. Big Crit. I like Big Crit. I mean, obviously.
Big Crit.
J. Cole, besides what he did, I'm still.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to him about that. We have to have a conversation about that. Obviously, obviously Kendrick.
Big Sean.
Big Sean, yeah, man. Big Sean would definitely be rapping.
Kevin Gates,
yeah, I like Kevin Gates.
He be wildin'.
Kevin Gates, because he be wildin' sometimes.
He be wildin'.
But for the most part, I'm definitely a fan of his body of work, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of influences, man. I mean, not just New York, man. I'm just a fan of hip hop. So
yeah, hip hop period.
Yeah, the West Coast, NWA. I mean, come on, man.
Definitely today day and age. I mean, if I had to name a new artist that I really fuck with, Big X the Plug.
Yeah, his flow. Yeah.
I've heard that name before.
Not only that, his beat selection, A1.
He's from A1. Is he from Texas?
Like that. And I love
Texas.
Yeah.
I like Dave East, Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, Dave East, Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, Dave East, Joyner Lucas. Definitely a big fan of that. I don't really like too much of the newer school rap because it's kind of all kind of meshing into one. Not really a big drill fan, but I love Pop Smoke.
Yeah, Pop Smoke was something.
I mean, we got a lot of influences, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Love that. A lot of lyrical MCs in there, for sure.
Yeah, man.
So,
artist, man. You gotta
shout out to Ransom.
Yeah, Ransom.
Ransom.
Ransom. Fire.
He's dope.
Obviously, listen. I can't forget Jada, the Locks.
Oh yeah, Jada and the Lock. God, there's a lot. Like
I said, we go on and on, man.
And we ain't even getting into the battle rap. We fucks with battle rap arena for sure.
Yeah, facts. Love battle rap.
I would never battle rap, but
you respect the craft. So
respect the craft for sure.
I was gonna say, you mentioned a couple names. I know Common just did the album with Pete Rock that I enjoy a lot. That just came out. Samurai. He's actually my favorite rapper. Yeah, he's my favorite rapper actually. Lupe Fiasco. Great MC.
He was my favorite rapper for a while.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorites.
Facts.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear you guys have a lot of amazing influences. And I'm definitely because I definitely wanted to touch on that because I knew that that was a big point of discussion. So before we get out of here, I gotta ask, what is the next move for you guys? It could be live shows, it could be more music. Like, what do you think is the big thing coming up? You guys want to let people know about?
We do a lot of podcasts. Definitely the Foot podcast. Shout out to the Foot. We've definitely been on that pretty good, pretty consistent. We're definitely about to drop another album. But it's been taking some turns here and there, so we're kind of trying to revamp how we want to attack it. The album is already written, the beat selection is already selected. We're just kind of doing the sonic approach. The sonic approach, yeah.
Because the way you kind of hear how you want your album to sound in your mind versus how it's coming out sonically might not match. And, you're trying to make it match as much as you can, as much as you imagined it to sound.
Right.
So it's always,
it's a process.
It's always a process in between that. So yeah.
Yeah. So we're just trying to we're navigating that at the current moment, but that project is going to probably we're still on time with it in regards to like a February 2025 release.
Yeah. It's just that it's kind of life. It's funny how life kind of gets in the way, right? But I'm about to have a baby on the way and all that. So
facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're planning a wedding.
Family, yeah, exactly. Family always comes first.
Yeah.
So, God, family, then the music. So, so we just work with it. We love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congrats on all that, first of all, because that's incredible.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. But are there any album titles you guys are kicking around? Anything you can reveal?
We do.
Yeah.
Should we tell them?
I mean, we can, but I mean, it's subject to change, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, yeah. You give them one. Go ahead, Twin. Tell them what the next one's gonna be, man.
All right. I got it. We have a list of different things that we want to talk about. Let me just pull this up. Let's see here. Penny Pension. Penny Pension is one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is subject to change. It's called From Penny Pension. It's technically an album kind of tailored towards Black History Month.
So the February release.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's kind of where we're gearing towards it to drop for Black History Month. Yeah, it's definitely going to be sonically different than all of our albums.
Yeah,
actually.
every single one.
And we love to do that. So we don't like to fit the narrative of all my songs have to sound the same. You know what I mean?
Right. I hate that.
No disrespect to Lil Baby, but his sound is you just know when he's little. You know what I mean? Like you hear Lil Baby, you already got a song playing in your mind, or you already got you know what I mean? Like me and Twin so original idea focused that we definitely want to make sure we don't sound like nobody. We sound like us, and we're trying to do it different every time. So
every time.
This album is definitely going to be sonically different. I've had some great feedback from the people in my inner circle that definitely love the lyricism behind it and the beats. Get some good.
It's just one of those things where we just like we like to experiment too. The one thing I love about me and Twin's approach to hip hop is that we don't hold any one direction with us. Like, we like to sound different and we like to push the boundaries. We don't. With the feedback of the feedback, people can hear the tape and be like, "Oh, it sucks," blah blah blah. We'd be like, "Well, we loved it. We love how it sounds. So it's probably just not your ear. That's cool." Like, it is what it is. But because we've been we're more concerned about the sonics and the topic. It is our biggest concern in regards to our creative process.
Yeah.
Definitely the creative process, and also we love to tailor our art to fit our mood.
Right, 100%.
We're very mood based. So we're sitting on tracks right now that have heavy with me up. Hey man, you need to drop that. But like I said, we're very project driven. We could have been dropped a bunch of singles and do all that single drops and all that. We don't really like to do that because I feel like the singles takes away from album focus, man. I mean, the album, giving a body of work, really shows your level of commitment, creativity, your actual passion. Like, do you actually take your time to put together a body of work? Like, I ain't gonna front. Don't get me wrong.
Shout out to Griselda.
Yeah, shout out to Griselda. I like a lot of like if I listen to a new artist that just happens to pop up on my Apple Music or whatever, I'll click their artist, and if they have one album but a boatload of singles, I won't even listen to them, to be honest. That's like, I mean, that's just my ear and what I go to. I like to hear your body of work. If you ain't got a body of work, there's nothing really to talk about. Cause I mean, you might have a couple hot singles and your song might be fire, but can you consistently give that? Can you consistently make it mesh? That's
not only that. Not only that, it also shows like a lot of people want a new favorite. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a fecal thing. Like, everybody wants a new artist that they can put on to somebody. And they don't want to just say, hey, just bump this album and that's it. People want to be like, oh yeah, I really like that album. What else do they have? Yeah. And they don't want to have to wait 3 years to hear another tape that's out. Like, I damn sure hate that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm getting put onto a new artist, I would like them to have at least 2 albums out.
And the albums tell the real story as well. That's where you can really get into the meat and potatoes, if you will, of who you are as an artist. So.
Right. Same thing when I discovered Tory Lanez quite some time ago. You know what I'm saying? He had 3 mixtapes out and a smash hit.
Tory Lanez fire.
Tory Lanez was fire. I was like, yeah, I listened to him and was like, yo, he's fire. Yo, I'm putting him on to different people.
Put me on the Tory Lanez. I was like, yeah, fire.
I was like, he's fire. I was like, yo, he's tough. This, that, and the third. We got this little element to him where he does the singing and he does the rapping and he blends it together. I'm like, this dude got, things, and I feel confident enough to say, like, yo, hey, listen to his body of work. And it's different. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like somebody who just has a bunch of singles out, no project. Because then you got to deal with the same thing. No disrespect to Ice Spice. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's looking at her like, you dropped a tape this is the tape. We heard 4 of the singles already all summer. You just gave us 4 new songs. It's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. And then, it seems more like a money grab. But the biggest thing about the Twin Kings that I leave right here on your platform is it ain't about the money. It's about the passion. It's about the craft. Because if it was about the money, I wouldn't be rapping. I wouldn't be rapping.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm not saying that there's no money in rapping, and just not saying there's no money in this. It's just that that's not my goal. I know that eventually, if one of these songs really pop off, I know we paid, but that's not what we're doing it for. We're not just doing it for the money. We're doing it because we actually genuinely love hip hop. We genuinely love the art. We genuinely love the creative expression and the
message
it provides and the message that it gives. And the everlasting memories you can create just by listening to it. So, that's what we do it for. So, just a quick synopsis.
May I work? So the entire project, we have a storyline driven. The title of the story, which we'll say exclusively on your podcast for the first time ever.
First time ever. We haven't told any other podcast this. The entire body of work, the story in itself is called "May Our Words Outlive Us," because that's the purpose of the entire project.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, I think that's a great place to leave it off, guys. And I gotta say, I'm excited for all the new music and everything you got coming up. And once again, I want to say thank you to Dom for connecting us, and thank you guys for being here, man. I hope you guys come back soon, and I hope you enjoyed it. So,
definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. Let's do it. Thank you for having us, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity, man, for sure.
Thanks for listening today, everyone. That was episode 219. We'll be back this time next week. As always, hit the support button on your podcast streaming platform if you'd like to send any funds. and feel free to leave us that 5-star rating if you enjoyed today's episode. So we'll see you then. Thanks everyone.